Oh my gosh, you're here! I'm so glad that you stopped by and decided to watch this video. Hey folks, Lord Thundermonkey back here again with you today, and today I was requested to do a video on some modding, and in particular, this one's going to be dealing with the extra camera, or camera being, an extra component that isn't recognized, and how you correct that. At the beginning of this video, I'm going to take this a little basic and really kind of flesh everything out so that if you're just jumping into modding for the first time and this is the only error warning that you have with the mod, you can at least, jump right in, fix that mod, move on, and start learning more modding in the future. So, for this example, excuse me, that time of year, we have gone and, let's see here, get my mods folder, which isn't exactly, here we are. So, you're going to find it, this PC, Windows, you're going to, this file path may not be identical. Mine's in Steam apps, common, Farm Simulator mods. Yours might be directly downloaded from Giants or something like that. So this path may be slightly different, but you're probably going to find it for program files and then end up in Farm Simulator mods. That's where your mods folder's at, and that's where we're heading. As you can see here, I took this mod, I unzipped it. Thing you want to make sure of is never, ever, ever, because it's going to mess you up. Never, ever leave a zip folder in here with your unzipped folder. Reason being is that when the way the game recognizes the mods, it recognizes in single player a zipped folder first, and we'll ignore the unzipped folder. The only way to make changes to a mod is to unzip it and change those, especially when you're getting in the Giants editor. So you're making changes in the unzip folder, it's reading the zip folder, and you're beating your head against the wall going, why aren't these changes happening? So once you unzip it, you've got this guy here, I always delete the original, save it someplace else, something along those lines. So we're going to open up that file. You can see we're in the Challenger MT800. It's got a crawler, Giants editor, and an MT1100. Giants editor i3D format file for this. I've sorted these by type. That way I've got my Giants editor ones, which I've got set to open with Giants editor, and my XMLs and mod desks set to open up into one of those as well. Before we do this, I want to show you the error here. So let's go ahead and launch the game. Come on, sweetheart. So, there's some other things you need to do in order to see this stuff the way I see it. You can either go into where your save games are at and look at your, no, you know what, we'll use the new one. Sure, we'll put it on hard. Elm Creek's great. There's my MT800, perfect. That's the mod we're wanting to deal with. I'm going to just select all those. I like running just strictly with what we've got and loading it. Now, you can look at them, at the issues or the warnings or the errors that you have in one of two ways. You can look at them here, the tilde key, which is the key right below your escape key on your keyboard. It's got a little squiggle thing in it, and then some sort of little, I don't know, dinky-doo. That's what it is. It's a dinky-doo. That's the technical term. I hit that once, and it brings up my log. Warning: only zip supported. Only zipped mods are supported in multiplayer. You need to zip the mod to use it in multiplayer. Well, we're not in multiplayer, so I don't care. That tilde key, you have to, that's another, I'm sure there's somebody out there, in fact, I think Farmer Client's got one, on how to set your game up to run with, that's called, what's that called? Essentially, you're running in dev controls, as the developers would run it. It allows that to happen. You also have to make an addition to how the game launches as well. Both those covered in Farmer Clients. I'll try and look that video up and add it to the description, but you'll be able to find those out there and be able to get that come up the way I did. Otherwise, you need to go to. Let me just pull it here real quick. I've got everything pinned so I don't have to go digging for it. But you got your save games here, which is under Documents, My Games. You're gonna find it there, save games, and your one of the files he's gonna talk about in the video is game file. The one I'm talking about though, the log file, which is what I just brought up on the screen with the tilde key, is gonna launch here, and you're gonna see it's loading. You know, this is just your log, everything as it goes, and you'll find your errors and warnings in here. Personally, easiest way I find is Control F, and I just go and type something that isn't right. Warning. There, boom. Exactly as we saw in the game. It's a little bit, you know, sometimes this one's easier, sometimes the in-game one's easier to work with. Depends on kind of what you're doing. And you'll figure that out as you go. I know, you hate me now. Bring that mod back open. Alright, so game is loaded. We can hit start. Hit select, yeah, because that, yeah, just confirm. I don't care. We're not doing this character thing. Should be under large tractors. And we're going to bring our, open that tilde key here. Oh, he's not going to do it. I'm going to have to find a mod to do it. He's not going to show me the warning. That's just a... Oh, no, I'm sorry. There it is. There it is. I'm sorry, I'm not reading. Program files, yada, 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 yada. It basically calls out the mod. It says the i3 offers 2 objects, but 1 components have been loaded. This is what we're talking about today. 2 objects, 1 component. And you go, what? Especially if you're new to modding. Let's go back to, we're going to open up the i3D. And while we're at it, close this. We are also going to open up the MT800 XML. The reason I bring this up is because in here, it's going to have, here we go, components. You're going to see in the components, there's 1 component loaded. That's it. That is what this has said. This has said it offers 2 objects, but 1 component had been loaded. Well, right, because the XML is saying load this component. All right, and that associates itself back to this. These are your components. See, as it's literally detailed out here, component 1. If there was component 2 in the XML, there would be a second component line right below the first. You would have component here, blah, 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 and then another component here, blah, 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 and would spell it out, give it mass, all that stuff. We don't have that. We've got this extra object. Only 1 component. Let's see, what was the error? I've read this so many times and I still don't remember it. i3 offers 2 objects, but 1 component has been loaded. We offer 2 objects here. It'd be easier if it said it offers 2 components. And then they would associate better. But it's offering essentially these 2, and the XML is only saying load 1. So the game's confused. It's like you've got 2 in here. You got you're saying one load over here. What do you want me to do? Essentially, you're going to find this when converting mods a lot. You're going to end up having to move this camera into the main component here. For intents and purposes, I actually created a camera. It's not relevant. As you can see, the modder has already created. He's moved the cameras in here. He's got his indoor, outdoor, whatever. For the most part, this is very simple. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Okay? You have this one outside here. You need it in here. That's it. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that. First things first, we're going to take and we're going to, typically this is where your view's at. Okay, see how this is associated view, camera, indoor, outdoor, and camera. So a lot of times you won't have them neatly tucked away like this, but you've got up here, you've got indoor camera, outdoor camera, and camera. Okay, whoops. Not scripts, there we go. Outdoor camera, indoor camera, and camera. Those two cameras in this camera are exactly what you see here. Currently, we're on the outdoor camera because the dot's next to it. So you can see we're going to be using, it's going to be viewing this camera. Typically what you would do when the cameras aren't already nicely put up here is you take and you switch your view. You go view, camera, and you want to switch. Well, no, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. This camera is outside here. Let's rename this. Let's go over here. Camera. Pain in the butt. Okay, I just renamed it because it's going to be simpler. Sorry. a little bit chunky with this video. So this is the pain in the butt camera, the one that's giving us the warning. Typically, this is what your view is already set to. So I'm just going to switch to that real quick. You can see it's just kind of word position. So you need, the game's telling you need to get this camera into the main component. These typically aren't already here. So ignore the fact that cameras exist. We're going to forget that. This is your only camera in the mod. The mod you're working on, you'll see you only have the one camera. Maybe you have two, but this is the one that's outside. This is the one that's a problem. So we're going to switch our view, because our view will default to that one. We're going to switch it. We're going to switch our view. But in order to switch our view, we have to create a camera. So we're going to create camera. And boom, we have camera. Now, in order to move a camera, or cut a camera, or delete a camera, which is what we have to do, we can't be using that camera, because then GE gets all confused. Like, you can't do that because you're using that camera. See, watch, if I try and hit Control X, current camera is involved in this command. Change to another camera first. Okay? It's going to be your warning. You don't have it right yet. So we need to switch our view. We're going to switch our view from camera pain in the butt to camera, which is this one here now. So now we can grab the camera. The one that it was originally in the mod, the one that we've been arguing with, that's giving us the warning. We're going to click on it. We're going to either hit edit and cut, or as I like to do, Control X, just because it's simpler. Right here with the keyboard, I cut, and then you click on the main component and you edit, paste, boom. It's now under the main component, because if I close that main component, all you see is the camera that we've created, that we're currently viewing through. Now, this has essentially caused us the exact same problem we're trying to eliminate. So you're going, well, what the heck? You run yourself in a circle. No, because we've moved the camera we wanted to. We just need to move our view now from camera to camera pain in the butt. Now we can take camera, the one that's outside the main component, the one that's the second object, and delete. Now we save it. Okay? Now you come back to the game. You can literally come back to the game. You can get out of there, the shop, go back into the shop, and it reloads the mod. Here it is. Here's the mod and the crawler tracks being reloaded, and there's no more issue. It's gone. It's that simple. Don't believe me? Check it out. Still gone. No yellow. Fixes the problem. This is how you fix the two objects, one component. Most often, you might find some other issues, but most often, it's a camera hanging outside the main component. Cut it, paste it in the new component after you've created a camera. Make sure to delete the camera you just created, switching your views back, and all that monkey jazz we just went through. I know the first time it might be like, oh my god, I gotta watch this video again. But after this, it's so simple, and it's just like, oh, why did they change that? You know, whatever. They changed it for whatever reason, or was modded incorrectly previously. I don't know. This is how you switch it. So I hope this helps you guys out. I hope this helps out the person who's actually asked me for this, and it helps some other folks along the way. Guys, thank you so much very much for watching. I am Lord Thunder Monkey, and I'll catch you next time.